Hey guys, just wanted to reiterate the process, how brands work with us, just so that there's some clarity. We get this question a lot. How do we work with you? And once we do work with you, what happens? How do we build the collection? So, as you know, the first step is that kickoff meeting where you're bringing together the cheat sheet and your reference samples. We sit down and we go through and plan out the full collection. We talk about timelines, we talk about the fabric that you want, we talk about the price points that you want to hit. We basically plan out the whole thing. At the end of that meeting, you will have a quote for your development, right? Based off of the complexity that you need and the type of work that we're going to be doing. And that will encompass a number of things. So let me explain what that quote encompasses. So what we quote is 2 rounds of sample development. Usually that is all we need to get you there. Most other companies take 3, 4, 5 rounds, and one of the reasons is because they start without information, where we start with reference samples. Now, the first thing that you're going to see on a quote that we present to you is going to be the fixed portion. Now that's the samples and the patterns. On the sample side, you're quoting 2 rounds of that, right? And then on the pattern side, we're going to make patterns, and then after the fitting, we modify it based off of what you tell us, and we make new samples again. Okay, so that's the fixed portion. Now we have a variable portion. Now we came up with this because we wanted to be able to find a way to provide designers with support based off of their need. And as you can imagine, the need can change sometimes. So we created a flexible structure so that you guys can use us as much or as little as you need on the variable side. Now that's if you're a project manager. Your project manager, they're the people that are from the industry. They have backgrounds in doing this, and they've built many, many lines with us. And then before working with us, they were with brands in the industry. What they're going to do is work with you directly. They're going to help you throughout the entire process with selecting the fabrics that you want, determining the types of things that you want to achieve for price points, building your tech packs. They basically oversee the whole project. They work with the vendors and our internal team here to build the products. Now, some of our clients will use them a lot, right? And so if you want to call them and work with them on certain components of fit, fabric, function, strategy, you can do that. We also have graphic design here, and we have a number of other services that you can kind of like reach in and use as needed. But the majority of their time will be spent sourcing and putting together your collection. That piece is variable, and we just bill hourly for that. So those are the 2 portions of what your development quote will look like once you get it. Once you go ahead and make the payment, what happens is we pass you off to a project manager. We do a kickoff, it's kind of like an intro call meeting. We give all information to them so that they're extremely clear and up to date on what you want, and we get started. I mean, the first thing we do is source fabrics, right? That's where we're going out. We're picking out all the different things, working with our many vendors, and then presenting you guys with options. Now, the cool thing about the way that we operate is that we decided we want to be completely transparent with our sourcing instead of hiding the information. And so what we do is we not only give you the prices, the actual prices from the vendors, but the actual cost for that you guys pay for. So let's just say you're doing an athletic line, and you want to you want some polyester spandex fabric in a couple of different colors. We're going to bring you a color card, right? And that color card is going to have prices on it. You're going to see exactly how much it's going to cost. And then ultimately, if you choose to use that fabric, say it's $5 a yard, and we need 5 yards of fabric, it's just going to be $25. You're going to pay the vendor directly, and what that means is you get their information. You're going to know exactly who they are. Ultimately, we're trying to build successful brands, and that means you have to know what your supply chain looks like. And so this is a way for us to give you that access. When you walk away, you're going to know every single person that you were working with beyond us, because of course, in this industry, especially in LA, it's very fragmented. So we work with lots of different vendors for lots of different portions of this, and we're the guys that bring it together for you. So we want to make sure you're left with all the information when you're done. So after the sourcing is done, we're going to begin with the pattern process, okay? Our pattern maker is going to build and engineer the highest level Gerber patterns you have ever seen. It is very clear, organized. We build pattern cards, and they're digital. You own them, which means that you never have to build them again if you're the type of brand that's going to be using similar styles as you go. And one question I get a lot is, well, if we build a set of 10 patterns and then we want to change some things, do we have to pay for the whole thing over again? No, you don't. You only have to pay for the work that we do. So if, let's say we make this shirt, right? and then you say, I'm going to try, well, this is actually a long sleeve shirt, but let's say you want to make it a short sleeve shirt. You only have to pay for the time for us to make it a short sleeve shirt. The rest of it you own. So consider that this initial investment where you're going to be building your first blocks is going to be the most expensive, and then after that, you can really work with the blocks you have, make modifications, use different fabric colors and prints and things like that, and really get a good mileage out of it for a number of seasons to come. When your patterns are done, we're going to send them to you. Once everything's approved, we'll send them to you, so you have those files. Again, you'll have all the information that you need, no matter what. And then the last piece, of course, is what you guys are hearing in the background, which is the cutting and the sewing of the samples. So that piece is really, really exciting. It's actually putting all of the pieces together. And our team here is cross-trained in many types of garments. There's really not a category that we don't do. And we've, at this point, I think we're up to about almost 350 brands that we've developed and produced for. So really excited about that. If hopefully that answers some of the questions that you had about the process. By the time we're done our second fitting, we should be ready to go into production. And so we have a lot of brands right now that are excited to get their stuff out for the holidays. So we're finishing up some really, really awesome samples right now, and we're diving right into production so that they have inventory for the holidays. If that's something that you're interested in, now's the time. You can't wait any longer. We're not going to have time to get you product for the holidays if you don't start right now. And at this point, it's going to need to be things that are in stock, which is totally fine because we got a lot of good fabric here. So if you guys have any other questions or if this was helpful, please comment below. I really appreciate the feedback, and we look forward to seeing you soon.